So I was never a big fan of the Mission Impossible movies. I still have never watched the first three. I watched Ghost Protocol when I was like 13 and barely remember anything about it, so before watching Fallout I decided to watch Rogue Nation just to get some context about what was going on. And other than the action scenes, I thought it was pretty average. None of the characters really stood out to me and the story wasn't anything that I haven't seen before. Everyone had been saying that Fallout was one of the best in the series, so I went into this one expecting it to be better than Rogue Nation, or at least feel more engaging after knowing that some of the new characters from that movie would be returning in this one. Turns out I was half right. I did think Fallout was better than its predecessor, but because of its okay story and bland characters, I feel like you don't really have to watch the previous movie to understand what's going on in this one. And that's mainly why I don't really love these movies out of the ones I've seen at least. Yes, the action scenes are some of the best I've ever seen, and the movie really glows up when they're happening, but the parts in between are so dull. The characters are always just discussing what they should do next, with some forced exposition thrown in from some government person. The Fast and Furious franchise isn't as good with its action, but it at least tries to have some fun with its one-dimensional characters.
Well, with all due respect, Captain, when this whole thing is over, we're gonna find a location, and I'm gonna knock your teeth so far down your throat you're gonna stick a toothbrush right up your ass to brush them.
No wonder these guys are getting a spin-off. Mission Impossible can't do shit without Ethan Hunt. But anyway, Fallout doesn't really tell you anything about any of the members of the main team. Everyone is just there to help from behind a computer or to handle some other bullshit that's going on while Tom Cruise is dealing with the main shit. They feel more like one-note cartoon characters than anything else, which makes watching them interact pretty boring at times. One of the more interesting scenes in my opinion was when Luther is explaining something to another character about Ethan Hunt's emotional past. That was literally the only time I became a little bit more attached to anyone in this movie because it brought out more of the humanity in that character. I did like the inclusion of Henry Cavill, however. I thought he was a great rival for Tom Cruise and added a new interesting dynamic to the team by always challenging their every move. So yeah, in the end I'm gonna have to give Mission Impossible Fallout a 7 out of 10. Just because of its stellar action scenes and Henry Cavill probably giving the best performance in his career so far. When it comes to action movies, I'm more of a John Wick kind of guy.